Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Fumi. I'm Fumi the Dressmaker, and if this is your first time seeing me, thank you so much for clicking this video. You can't do something else by subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. So today's video is sort of like a part 2. I already did a pattern drafting tutorial for a basic bodice for a dress previously, so if you don't know how to draft like a basic pattern for a dress, please watch that video before continuing to this one, because this video sort of flows out from that one. We're using the same pattern that we drafted in that video. So we're going to use our basic dress pattern and we're going to be creating this dress right here. I found it on Pinterest. Was it Pinterest or Instagram? Found it on Instagram a while ago. The original designer of this dress is Stitches by IC. So we're going to be recreating this dress with Ankara and plain black crepe fabric. So if you would like to see that, stay tuned to the end, and yeah, see you at the end of the video. Alright, so first of all, here's everything that we need for this project. You can take a screenshot or pause. So starting off with our dress pattern that we drafted in the other video, I'm coming down from the neckline by about 3 inches, but I'm kind of unsure. I'm just trying to like eyeball it and see like what would look better, like what neck depth. But you can actually take this measurement like on yourself and see on yourself or on your client and see like what works best for you. So like I'm just trying to figure out like what depth I should use. I'm not so sure about these 3. I'm going for 2.5 inches down from the front neck depth. So I'm just going to mark that 2.5 inches and then try to draw like a curved line all the way across the chest. It's a bit straight, it's just like slightly curved. And then from that line, I'm going down by 2.5 inches. And then this line is a lot more curved than the upper one, because in the picture it looked like the lower one was more curved, but then like you can do it as you'd prefer. So this part right here is going to be that open space that you saw in the picture in the original dress. And I'm just trying to curve my line a bit more. Just a bit more. And now I'm just going to cut it out. So this is the actual neckline for the front of the dress. And then remember, the armhole for the front is slightly different than the armhole for the back, so that's what I'm cutting out right now, because we're working on the front first. And this is what we have. I cut out this small triangle piece because that's like the part that the print fabric and the plain black fabric overlap. So like I'm just using my tape to attach it now to the upper like yoke of the pattern, and then I can also attach it to the rest of the body of the dress for when I'm cutting from the print fabric, because we're going to, that small part, we're going to cut it out in the print fabric and on the black fabric as well. So here's our fabric, and this is what our pattern looks like. And now this is what our pieces look like. I've already cut out the front and the back pieces for our print fabric. This one right here is the front and that is the back. And next up we're going to cut our lining. So I'm just placing the already cut out pieces on the folded over lining, then pinning it in place to make sure it doesn't move and is as accurate as possible. Just cutting out everything. And then just repeating the same thing for our front piece as well. Remember to pin it in place or to use pattern weights or something to hold it so that it doesn't keep moving as you're cutting. So next up from our pattern, I'm just going to take that upper part, the parts that we're supposed to cut out from our black fabric. So that part is kind of like the yoke of this dress. So I'm removing all the pieces we don't need, and then that triangle piece where both fabrics overlap, I'm just taping it to the pattern piece for our yoke. So this is what we have. This is what the pattern piece looks like. And here's our fabric. So I'm just going to lay it all out and then I'm going to fold it over so that I can cut our yoke. And here it is. Remember to put the center front on the folded edge. I'm just trying to align my fabric and make sure everything is smoothed out. And then holding it down in place, I'm cutting out our yoke. And here is what we have. And this is what it looks like opened up. Neckline. And so I was out of frame a bit in the last clip. Here is how you place your pattern piece with that edge on the folded edge of the fabric, so that when you open it up you have your full piece with your neckline and everything. Now this is our sleeve. I already chalked everything out and I'm just about to cut it out. So first of all, for the upper area, I sort of drew like a bit of it. It's like a weirdly shaped S, which is the length of half of the armhole. So if your armhole is 20 inches like mine is, you use 10 inches and you make sure that line is 10 inches. And then I marked the length and I also marked the round sleeve, and then I connected all the points. Let me know if you understand or if like you want me to go over this again in another video. So I'm just cutting out my sleeve and then I'm just going to take that piece and place it to cut the second sleeve because both of them are the exact same thing. And I'm just going to keep that aside. And now for the flared part of the sleeve, this part right here is the folded edge. So from that point I'm just measuring what we have here, which is about 14 inches. So I'm marking about 3 inches at this point, which is going to be the point where our flake connects to the rest of the sleeve. I'm just making sure my measurements are correct, and then I'm making sure my chalk is as clear as possible. So there you have it, 3 inches, and then downwards I'm also going to mark another 3 inches, and then just making sure I get the 3 inches all around. This is a 180-degree flare. If you want to go for 360, it's not exactly the same thing. I can do a separate video for that, but this is 180 degrees for this flare. And Now I'm just marking the length of the flare as well. We have about 11 inches for that. That's what I'm using for this, because this is based on someone's measurements. So depending on how long or short you want your flare to be. And then I'm just marking the points all around, at different points all around, so that it will be a lot easier to cut. So just connecting all my points. And then now we're going to cut it out. I'm just measuring to make sure I have enough to go around the sleeve. If you don't have enough by the time you do this, you can make it a bit bigger. Always remember to take your measurements. So I made it slightly bigger, just a bit, and then I'm measuring again. And this is fine, so now I'm cutting it out. Here's what it looks like. Next, I'm just going to lay it on top of my fabric again and cut the same thing for the second sleeve. And there you have it. This is what our sleeve is going to look like. Now back to our print fabric. This is the back piece for the dress, and I just realized that I think I want some black on the back as well. So going down by 6 inches from the neckline, I mark that point, and then I do like a V neckline to that point. And I think this would look good on the back. So I'm just using my chalk to mark where I'm going to cut. You'll see when I cut it out, because the print is a bit, the chalk marks are not so clear. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So that piece that is now separate from the rest of the back is what I'm going to use to cut out on our black fabric. So that is going to be replaced with black on the dress. And here's what it looks like. I've cut out our black fabric using that piece that I cut from this back of the dress as sort of like a pattern. I also left half an inch sewing allowance on the neckline and on the points where I'm going to join the black to the rest of the dress. No sewing allowance on the shoulder line and on the armhole, by the way. So just half an inch is fine, and this is what we have. So now we can get on with the rest of the dress. I think this looks good so far. So for the lining, this is the hem of the dress, and I'm just marking up by 3 inches from the hem, and I'm just going to cut that out. So I'm going to mark it at different points first of all, so that we can have a straight line. This is how I'm going to hem the dress with the lining. So after marking that straight line, I'm going to cut it out. And here's what it looks like. So here's our front piece. After I cut those 3 inches from the hem, I laid it on top of the front, and I'm going to take it to my machine and sew all the way around it from the neckline, and then leaving out the armhole. I'm going to also sew the sides and then the hem as well. I'm going to join the hem of the print and the hem of the lining together. This is going to bring the hem of the print up a bit. It's going to be a bit folded. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. And then while I'm at it, I just decided to use the bias tape to finish off the neckline and the cutout area of our black piece, our black yoke. And here's what it looks like. All finished. And this is the back. Now for the two back pieces, we're going to do the same thing that we did for the front, but first of all, here are the dart points. I basically just transferred the darts from the pattern paper to the fabric. And then, so like we did for the front piece, we're going to join up the lining and the print fabric together at the hem and all the way along the sides, leaving the armholes together so that we can turn the fabric so that the right side is facing out. And then you can see those markings there. I marked our darts. If you need more explanation on the darts, you should check the previous video on the pattern drafting tutorial. I'm going to link it in the description box. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then this is what it looks like after joining the lining to the print fabric. I just laid everything out. I haven't connected like the shoulders and the yoke at the front, but I just want to show you how the dress is looking. And then after this, I'm just going to, the dress is basically almost done. I'm just going to connect, like join the two sides together, join the two back pieces together as well, and then attach the zipper and then connect them on the shoulders so that I can attach the sleeves. This is a closer look. I really love this print. And there's our sleeve laid out on the side. So I would attach the flare side to the body of the sleeve and then attach the sleeve to the dress, and that will basically be it. And then after I'm done with all that, you can finally get to see the final look of this dress. So much for staying tuned to the end of this video. I am so grateful. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking and telling me what you think in this comment section. If you have any questions at all, any parts where I wasn't like clear enough, or maybe you are just unsure about one thing or another, please ask your questions in the comment section. And of course, if you have any tutorial requests, any tutorials that you would like me to do, let me know in the comment section as well, or you can send it to my Instagram, which is linked in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, because I know you didn't watch this video from start to finish without subscribing. So thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, and for liking this video. Thank you. Please like, it helps me know that my videos are helping people out there. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you next week Tuesday, same time, same place. Have a great week, and yeah, see you around.